was a comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. We got Cole on deck. Say what's up to the people, y'all.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Was that Cole about to say something? I saw you just came off mute, Cole. Oh, she might be tied up. Well, shout out to y'all joining us tonight, man. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. Smash that like button, man. Also, for my YouTube folks out there, hit that subscribe. Like I said, we're trying to get to 5,000, trying to get to 5K. So hit that subscribe to all my YouTube folks out there. Also, man, hit that share, man. Get this content out to as many of our people as possible. And most importantly, man, hit that notification. So when we drop content, man. So definitely, man, that's all we ask. Like, share, subscribe, notifications. Just that simple. All right. Let me do this real quick. Like I said, my apologies for the technical stuff blowing up. Sometimes that's how it be. All right, here's a link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. Man, join us on the panel. Don't be scared, man. Like I said, we welcome all conversations, all perspectives. Yeah, we run from none of it, man. So like I said, definitely join us on the panel. Don't be scared. Also, man, for all my folks who are watching right now, this link is in all the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook right now. All right, I'll leave that up here a little bit as we get into the conversation. Let's see. Shout out to the real one in the building. He said, hello, everyone. What's going on, the real one? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight. See, Kenyatta in the building. Happy Wednesday. What's going on, Kenyatta? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight as well. Appreciate y'all. I know we a couple minutes behind. Let's say tech stuff just be, you never know. You never know. All right. So I'm going to drop this link down. Let's see. Y'all can catch that link in all the chat feeds. Like I said, once again, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I got to see if we got a title breakdown tonight. Coco alone. I don't know. Okay, hold on. Let me get to it. So, see, title for the night or topic for the night. Topic for tonight. Male-centered women get husbands. See what y'all about to do tonight, man. Topic for the night: male-centered women get husbands. Okay. Well, shout out to Renee. What's going on, Renee? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I had a couple things going on. How you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you?
So far, so great.
Okay. All right. Good. It's good.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. All right. So we man, see, I'm over here outnumbered again. I got Coco, Renee, and Cole. Fellas, where y'all at?
It is not a competition. We are all here for the same goal.
Nah, I'm just playing. That's how it always it ends up like that somehow. But like I said, the fellas, I'm sure they might pop up. We'll see what happens. All right, so tonight we talking male-centered women get husbands. So we got a couple videos down here. Let's say one thing we're gonna make a change on is we're going to try to not be on here all night. Yeah, some folks was complaining that as they said we be on here too long. So we're gonna play with that a little bit. We're gonna tweak time and we'll see how that go. So yeah, I'm just gonna go and put that out there so nobody's surprised. Let me get this comment, then we get into it. Kenyatta said, "I don't understand the term male center." Well, we're about to go on and go there, Kenyatta. This is this topic kind of new to me. We about to go on and get into it.
I lost a close friend of many years. And one of the reasons that I guess we stopped being friends, or one of the reasons she's brought up to me, was that I am male centered or I talk about men too much. And I think that's so interesting because as a woman in my mid 20s who has intentions of being married and having children, that's a really big part of my life. And I'm like in my friendships and in my relationships, I share about what's going on in my life, and dating and being with men is something that I'm actively doing, I enjoy doing, and I don't think there is anything wrong with that. So I was just confused whether she was right and like I was like talking about men too much, or there was just like a mismatch, in like personalities there, or like whatever it might be. But I think the whole conversation around being male-centered is so interesting because as women who date men, we're going to be dealing with men, and that's probably one of the most important relationships in our lives if you're a woman dating a man and has intentions to be married. So I don't know. I just think that's so interesting because I think two things can be true at once. Yes, I enjoy dating men. I like men. A lot of my time goes into my relationships with men, but I also have a very full life for myself, and I also have a lot of goals and a lot of things that I work towards. So I guess I'm like side eye about like where that relationship ended, or just curious to hear like your thoughts, because like if me pursuing men and that's a big part of my life means that I'm male-centered, I guess I am male-centered. At the end of the day, if you're a woman that likes men, like you're not going to get away from that. Like, you are always going to be amongst men. You're always going to be, you know, dating men. And that doesn't negate the fact that I understand male nature. I understand how they move, and I understand the bullshit that they be doing. I still like men though, and I still date men. So I guess I'm male centered. I don't know.
Okay, so that's video number 1. So drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about what the young lady said. Let's see. Donovan said, "What up, though? What's going on, Donovan? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, brother. Appreciate you." See, Donovan also said, "What's the alternative to a female being male-centered? Would it be single or alphabet-based?" I don't know, man. This is this is an interesting one right here. This is an interesting one. Let me come on back to the panel. I see JR just hopped on. Okay. So let me come on back to the panel. So y'all saw video number 1. So anybody, I guess, come off mute, say whatever you want to say. I see Coco's off, Renee is off. Either one. Coco, are you going to get it first? Whatever.
Real quickly, I really wanted to. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to point out just a few of the comments that this young woman received on her post. Just a couple, right? One of the ones that stood out to me is, "Meanwhile, no man is choosing the potential of having a wife and kids over their close friends." That's one. Another comment was, they called her a bird. Another comment says, "Notice how you are more focused on a hypothetical man you haven't met yet compared to your longtime friend. She's right. This video alone exhausted me. All I heard was men, 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 men. Men don't ever talk about how they want to be married constantly. All I'm saying, you treat marriage like a goal/milestone. Marriage should be a bonus, not what your life revolves around." Girl, you even ramble on about men in this video. I don't know. She might be right. Nah, being a woman that likes men and being male-centered is two different things. Then somebody responded, "Not really. You can be attracted to some men and just enjoy the fun and not be male-centered. And yet men are not women-centered." So just saying, those are just some of the comments.
Oh, come on.
Were in her comment section. So just to add some clarity about how people feel about her question of, is she male-centered?
Okay. I don't know, Renee, did you want to put in on that at all? I saw you come off mute as well. Do you want to say anything on that?
I mean, I don't. If the actual description, like the words that are used, are accurate, you're male-centered. You're focused on that. Like, I don't understand. There's people who are education focused. Right now, that's what they're focused on. That's what their goal is. There are people who are focused on the job market. Okay, I need to go and find my next job. Like, I don't understand, like, where people are getting. People are, I guess, based on, especially with the comments Coco read, people are projecting. Whatever their personal opinions are or what their goals are may be different from what her focus is. And they're kind of projecting that out into the comment section, which I'm like, good, because girl, get your comments, boo. It does not even matter. You need that engagement. Go ahead, girl. Get that engagement, honey bunny. But yeah, I feel like they're projecting. She didn't say anything of any actual connotation other than, this is what happened with my friend. My friend felt this way. I am focused on the things that I'm looking for in life. Apparently, my friend and I are mismatched in our goals. I don't see anything wrong with being centered in the thing that you are going for. I believe one of the most famous terms that we've ever had in our community was keep your eyes on the prize. I mean, it don't get no simpler than that. So I don't understand, like if people have some sort of pushback to what she said, it's like, okay, but her goals just don't align with the same goals that you have for yourself. It's okay for her to have that focus on what she wants. I feel like what she said was more profound than people understand. She said, when I am about something, this is what I get focused on. Jay-Z said, I'm focused, man. I mean, that's what you do. And then we see what he's achieved. So it's like, I don't see anything wrong in any way, shape, or form with what she said. And if they're saying, like, that's why you lost your friend, I'm like, well, yes, that is why you lost your friend. You and your friend have incompatibilities when it comes to certain things that you want to achieve. Or one or both of you don't have the capacity to be able to, I guess there's that term, agree to disagree, so that you guys can continue on with the things that you do have compatibilities on, and just say, okay, well, this is just not one. My best friend is married. I am not. She spends a lot of time with her husband. I'd be like, "Ooh, girl, send me pictures." Because, I mean, I'm focused on finding my person. She already found her person. But because I believe in quality relationships, the fact that she has a quality relationship does not stop us from being good with each other. So, like I said, her friend probably just may have had self-esteem problems. She may have fears that she's not expressing to her friend, to say, like, hey, I'm scared that, like, I'm making stuff up, but I'm scared that maybe I won't find my person. And I'm afraid to put my focus in that because I'm afraid that I won't actually achieve that goal. That's a possibility of something that her friend is not expressing to her. And like I said, projecting and saying, oh, girl, you're just male centered, as opposed to doing some shadow work on herself and saying, why am I so mad at my friend for wanting to have a boo? It could be I'm scared that, dang, once you get you a boo, I'm not going to have my best friend no more. We ain't going to be able to. And that be hurting too, because you feel like you lost your best friend. So I feel like her friend probably had a bunch of issues that she's not fully communicating. And then I will say maybe a good riddance, because if you got a friend who can't communicate with you, why do you want that to be your friend?
Okay. I ain't mad at that right there. Appreciate that comment. Coco, you want to get in on that, or you good?
No, I agree. I don't think that's a problem with what she's saying. I think the issue that I have is with the negativity that's being placed behind the whole term male centered. Like, why does that have to be a negative thing? It's weird, right? You can be career focused and career centered and nobody cares. You can be education, like you pointed out, Renee, centered, and nobody cares about that. Matter of fact, they're clapping it up for you. Go, girl, go ahead, girl. You all of that. You could be focused on getting your body together and getting yourself together. Nobody can. They clapping it up for you. But then if you're focused on becoming a wife and being a mother, then it's a problem. And I'm trying to figure out, why is it that I can focus on all these other things, but then when I want to focus on building my personal life, right? Not my career, not my education, my personal life, like finding my partner, starting a family. Why is that negative? Why now are we turning that into a bad thing? Oh, she male centered. This young woman, excuse me, I'm sorry. I know we rarely get the context, unfortunately, when we see these videos. But I did get a chance to watch a couple of her other videos, and she was just running down some of her other, achievements. And she's college educated. She has a good job. Like she has all of these other things. She's saying, I'm not just about men. Like I've gone out and I've accomplished things in my life, and now I would like a husband, and I would like some kids. I want that to be a part of my life. So I am focused on it because I achieved all of the things that I wanted to achieve. This is one of them. So she's like, I do approach it with the same type of focus. I mean, I am. And I'm guessing, to me, I'm just like, why is that a problem? I don't get it. If that was an issue for her friend, because maybe she's feeling like, I don't want to talk about men all the time, or I don't want to go hang out with you while you go try to meet men, or whatever the case may be, then just like Renee said, maybe find you a different friend. Find you a friend that's on the same wavelength. She riding the same wave you're riding. Maybe this is just not, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I don't understand it. But also, where's the art of being girls? Like, I thought y'all said we were girls. Where's the art of being girls? You mean to tell me you ain't never had a girlfriend that was dating a dude that she was just all in love with, all goo goo gaga with, and all she want to do is talk to you about that man all the time? You mean to tell me y'all ain't never had that before? Like, I mean, be so for real. And then maybe next time it was you. You done just met this dude and you all goo goo gaga about this dude, and now she got to sit and listen to you talk about this guy all the time. Now we dumping friends for that? Like, that was the whole reason why we had girlfriends. Like, this is what we did. The things we couldn't talk to about brothers, cousins, couldn't talk to your man about this stuff. This is what your girl is for. Now we dumping friendships because what? You see how everything that makes us as women, we're finding a way, and this is a select group of people. We're not talking about all of us, but there's a select. I am convinced that there is a select group of women that not only do they hate men, they hate women too. Yeah. Some of y'all walking around here, some of y'all women walking around here, y'all are misogynists too. Ooh, uh-oh. Some of you women, y'all are misogynists. Yeah, y'all are. Y'all don't really like women. Y'all don't. You like yourself and you like the couple girlfriends that you tolerate. That's it. You don't like women in general. You don't. Y'all are mean girls. Y'all are mean. Mean. That's what y'all are. All the while talking about how hateful men are. The gag. It's crazy, right? And I wanted to talk about this topic because the overarching concern for me is how we are taking things that are beneficial to us as individuals and beneficial to us as a community, and we're making those the negative things. We're making those the things that we now want to criticize and complain about. So this woman is like, I went out and got the job. I went out and got the accolades and the education. Now I want my man. I want my kids. And now y'all are saying y'all don't want to hear it. You in the comments telling her, girl, all you did in this video was talk about me. And she's telling y'all about the issues that she's having with her friend because she want a man, which is crazy even to say. So yeah, I think it's just weird to me. I think that this adds to the concern that I have that as women we have lost the plot. We have. And listen, we can talk about the men next show, but as women we have lost the plot. Like, do we not understand that these are the things that make us women? These are the things that make us girls. These are the things that make us feminine and fun. And these are all of the, you guys are taking all of it away. You don't want us to talk about men. You don't want us to play in our hair. You don't want us to play in our makeup. You don't want us. What do you want us to do, ma'am, that's still feminine? What do you want us to do? What's left? Please, I mean, what is it? Make money? Is that where we at now? I mean, y'all really just want to be men out here. Is that what it is? Y'all just really want to be men.
Ooh-wee. Okay. I appreciate that right there. I appreciate that. Let me check in with Cole and JR. Cole, I know if you want to say something. JR, I know if you want to say something. If you do, come off mute. If not, stay on
No, I'm
mute.
good. I'm good for now.
All right, cool, Cole. JR, you good, man?
Yeah, I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Doing well. How you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you. Yeah, I can understand the feelings that ladies have for men, due to the experiences and whatnot. But I wanted to ask because I think you mentioned in the video that men aren't women centered or whatever it is, right? So if men were to be women centered, like what would that look like to ladies? Because I can, like I said, I understand ladies' feelings, towards men. So I'm not against women putting themselves first, working on themselves or whatnot, and then, you know, men being the last option or whatever it is, and then see how I can, work from there. But for men being women centered, how what would that look like?
Man, let me answer that, man. This easy. Let me get down. Let me get down. Let me get down. Men are definitely women centered, bro. We definitely women centered. Let me tell you what that looked like, Jr. It looks like men liking women. It looks like men talking to their boys about ladies. Men hanging out with their boys, seeing some females coming into the bar, the restaurant, whatever it is you're doing. Man, she a little cutie over there. You know what I'm saying? Give me a minute. Let me go holler at the old girl real quick. That's what it looks like. Yeah, men have been female centered since the beginning of time. Let me take it a step further. Women have been male centered since the beginning of time. I'm gonna stop right there and I'm gonna come back to it. Now, Jr., I know if you want to go a little farther. I just want to answer that real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So obviously you said that we're both still centered towards each other, whatnot. So what is the exact issue? Obviously, we can't pinpoint it, the exact issue, but what's one of the main causes as to why women are feeling like this towards men? Because, like I said, I can understand, right? Because men aren't perfect, right? We've done things to ladies and whatnot, so I can understand the experience that they've gone through. But is it just that, or is it more case of they've just got a different plan for themselves, and some are like, yeah, it should involve men. Some are saying no, it shouldn't. What is the issue? As obviously, they're going against other women as well that are, male centered. But what's the main issue as to why there's the clash?
So okay, so I'm glad you asked that, Jr. So why don't you just let me just go ahead and catch that alley oop real fast. So let's go on and get to it. Let's go on and get to it because I saw the same video that y'all saw. Yep, and I'm seeing a pattern. Yeah, that's going on out here in our community. Yep, I really see it in my black community. Yep, I know that there's algorithms in play. I know that there is controls on social media that has the ability to dictate what you get a chance to see. Um, but all of those controls and those algorithms would not be effective if somebody wasn't creating the content. So let me tell you what I see. Um, I had never heard this term male centered. Yeah, I had never heard this. Yep, all I knew or all I grew up knowing was that women liked men and men liked women. Yeah, men would pursue women. They would, as we used to say back in the day, they would holler at women. They would get numbers. Back then it was a piece of paper. It was exchanging numbers. I said, I'm dating myself. It was exchanging numbers with the beepers. You know what I'm saying? You go to the payphone and you call a little girl back, you know what I'm saying? Tell her where y'all gonna be, whatever, whatever, whatever. I'm dating myself. Y'all probably don't even know what a payphone is. But that's all good. It was flip phones.
Drop a
You said
dime.
you know what I'm saying? You get the number at the club, get a little drink, get the number at the club, and at the end of the night, once everybody got home, you start making your calls. Yep, and on the flip side, young ladies used to step out in the streets, get cute, fresh what they say, fresh out the salon, put their little makeup on, put their little dress on or jeans. Well, it was jeans back then. I know it's leggings now, but it was jeans back when I came through. But they would go put their little stuff on and go out here. Let's just be honest. They would go out to have a good time, but they also was hoping somebody was gonna holler at them. If we gonna be honest, because they ain't do all that just to go home and leave with nothing. We knew better, right? So that's what it looked like. None of that was referred to as male centered or female centered. Yeah, we just called that life. We called it pursuit of dating. We called it finding somebody. We called it Everybody had all type of names, but y'all knew what it was. But it wasn't no male-centered and female-centered nonsense. But now, current day, all these terms have been created, and then they've been given a negative connotation for everything that we used to do. Yep, so now it's male-centered. So a female who is interested in men and talks about men and being pursued by men and wants to be married and have a family and be a wife is now got to be labeled as male-centered. And that's crazy. You want to say something, Coco?
Well, yeah, let's do this real quick. Let's break it down by pillar of what male centered is believed to be, right? So the core values, right? Seeking validation, that's one. That's measuring their personal worth, success, or attractiveness largely through a man's eyes. That's number one. Number two, compromising your boundaries, meaning changing your habits, appearances, or core values to accommodate or appease a man. Three, deprioritizing your friends, dismissing or abandoning female friendships and community support in favor of male attention or romantic pursuits. And then finally, societal conditioning, stemming from cultural norms that historically reward women for being accommodating, pleasing, or anchored to a male-dominated narrative. Those are the core behaviors of a woman who is male-centered, right? So just so you guys are clear, this is specifically what they're identifying as male-centered. And my issue is you guys have a problem with women that are seeking validation from a man, but y'all seek validation from each other all the time. That's the issue for me. If you say you're not dressing up and you're not going out for a man, then why are you dressing up to go out to brunch with your girl? Why do you care? Why are you putting so much effort? Y'all say y'all get y'all nails done, y'all hair done, y'all lashes. Y'all are saying that y'all are doing this for yourselves and to go hang out with your girls, right? This is what you're saying. This is what you're saying. And listen, I'm not saying you're not telling the truth. I'm more concerned with why that's not concerning to you. Why is it not concerning to you that it's okay for you to do all that, to go hang out with your girls, to get validation from other women? Because let's just be honest. Let's be honest. The woman that feels like that young lady is male-centered for wanting what she wants is the type of woman that's going to get herself dialed to the nines to go have brunch with her friends because she's prioritizing her friendships. Okay. She's going to go do that. Why is it not weird? Why is that not weird? If it's weird for her to say, I want a husband, I want a family, and I care about that and I prioritize that. If it's weird for her to do that, then why is it not weird for you to do everything you're doing for your your girls and your experience with your friends? All these trips y'all taking, spending all that money, all this stuff y'all doing to go out and have these brunches and these lunches and these sipping paint and all this other stuff y'all are doing. Why is it not weird that you guys are spending so much time prioritizing that, focusing on that, spending money and time on that? Why is that not weird? Why is what she's doing weird? Because it's still seeking validation from another person. So why does it matter if you're a friend or if it's your man? You're still seeking external validation. So why is it just not weird in general?
Oh, I agree with you. Because it really does seem like, especially with the whole social media society that we have now, it's just the seeking of validation period is just the baseline aspect of life now. Like, who can go viral next? Who can get the most likes? It's insane dopamine filled hit after hit society that we now have. And so I agree with you. I think honestly, to be insanely focused on just trying to have a man is equally as weird as why are you trying to get so much validation from, say, your homegirls or whatever. But then I also think about alignment wise, just like we were talking about before. Like there are girls who are like so focused on their education, you know, oh girl, are you coming out? Nah, girl, I got this paper I got to get due, and then I also want to try to, I want actually want to get ahead of it. Well, girl, that's not due until like a couple of months. But nah, girl, I really want to get ahead of it. You know, these are the things that people are focused on. But once social media hit, I think that changed not just like the online algorithm, but I'm going to say it changed the real life algorithm. People are very, very focused on getting validation, and it's just tough. Like once you're used to a certain thing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to almost that it's an addiction. It's yet another addiction, and it's hard for anybody to let go. So when people are like, oh well, why is that your addiction? I'm so mad at your addiction. It's like, okay, well girl, I'm so mad at your addiction. Oh well, I'm mad at his addiction. Oh, I'm mad at their addiction. And I'm like, okay, well, is anybody going to start admitting that we all just have this addiction? What are we doing to detox from it? What are we doing? Because I guess maybe it's just too hard for a lot of people at this point. The withdrawal symptoms are just too killer.
So okay, so that right there. So I'm glad you said that, Renee. That right there is important. So this is where I was going with that. This is the pattern that I'm seeing. Yep, I'm seeing a pattern where there's some young ladies out here who are saying that they want to, I'm just going to call it what it is. They still want to maintain somewhat of a traditional thought process. Yep, and because they are communicating that to other young ladies, they catching flack for it. And that's what I want to get down to the bottom of. Yet, why is a woman that is telling you that she is prioritizing getting married, having a husband, having some children, having a family, living happily ever after, why is that attracting negative response? Yeah, because I understand the book definitions of a lot of these terms, but we all know today that a lot of terms get manipulated. Yep, and typically it's in a negative way. Yep, so I really want to get to the root of what is going on. Yep, what about a woman saying that she wants to be married and have a husband before she have some kids, and then having some kids and having a family, and her husband loving on her and her loving on her husband? What about that attracts a negative response? Yep, it used to be a positive response. Yeah, I remember the days when young ladies, you know what I'm saying, when they got found by their husband and they couldn't wait. And they was, hey girl, look at this girl. And it was, girl, he did good, girl, he did good. You got you a good one. But now it has turned into, it's a problem. Why you worried about these dudes? Why you worried about this husband? It's turned into that. And that's the pattern I'm seeing in a lot of these videos. And I'm trying to understand where is that coming from. Yeah, because there's something there. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't hear dudes saying a lot of this. I don't hear a lot of dudes knocking a dude because he say he about to get married. I don't hear that. Yeah, maybe it's going on out here. Y'all got to let me know. I don't hear that. Yep, I don't hear that. Yep, I don't see dudes out here going and buying rings and his boy like, nah, bro, take that back. Nah, she ain't worth all that, bro. I don't hear that. Yep, I don't hear dudes talking about, man, why you always talking about these females, bro? Why you always taking these girls out on dates? Why you ain't prioritizing that exam you got to take at college tomorrow? I don't hear that. Yeah, so with a lot of these particular topics, I'm always trying to get down to the root of what is going on. Yeah, because there's something there. Yeah, why would a woman that wants to be married and have a family and prioritizes that, why is she catching flack? Yeah, why is her comments negative in the posts like that? That don't make sense, and there's something there, and it's like we got to weed that out. Yeah, because there's something there, because that didn't used to be the case. So something has happened. Yeah, but that's really what I want to figure out. You want to say something, Renee?
Well, there's just been a huge change in our baseline fundamental society. Um, with definitely with the advent of social media and things like that and these platforms, I think people may be overwhelmed with um, choices. I believe there might be a choice paradox. Before, when simpler times, back in my day when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, because they were
Not the dinosaurs, girl.
maybe they could be feel like, oh, way back in the late
come on.
1900s. I'm like, come on, jeez. But it's like, oh, those were simpler times, and I'm like, yeah, technically, yes, but facts. There's something called a choice paradox. Once you have so many choices, you tend not to choose anything because at this point, like you don't, you know what I mean? You can't you don't feel like you've ever gotten enough information to make a good informed choice because there's so many choices. There was a study that I had saw someplace, but whatever, but it's called like the choice paradox. They say that once you have like more than three, you're like, you know what, I don't want nothing. And I think that might be one of the causes. I don't know if it's the baseline cause, but that might be one of the causes why a lot of women are like, oh, but I could do this and I could do that and I could do this. But back in the day, there were less choices. It was like, well, hey, you can try to get you a decent job, but at the time, it was less likely that a girl was going to be able to get a decent job. Now that society has changed fundamentally, it's more likely that a girl will be able to have that as a possible option. So it's like, okay, well, do I bank, especially, and here's the deal, is women who are more attractive do have more of a better option when it comes to getting a male. Women who are less attractive, and I'm like, if somebody's mad, you can be mad, but that's just kind of what it is. When you have attractiveness, there's a lot less, I hate to say it, that you have to have on the table in order to get what you want out of life, and this goes for men as well. um, and so I wonder if some of these women are lesser attractive women, and what I would, just like I would say to a man, a hit dog gon' holler. If she happens to be a lot less attractive, it's like, well, dang, I don't have the options that you have, and you're telling me that I need to go and be trying to go and get a job at, let's say, like a biology facility, but you're the one who has the biology degree. I don't have a biology degree. You're telling me that you want me to be focused on getting a job at this biology in the biology department, but I don't have a biology degree. So here she was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And she's like, okay, well, I want to find a guy. But again, with the girls who may have less options, and then this is not to insult anybody, I hope nobody knows, but the women who would feel like they have less options are like, okay, well, that's probably not a good option for me. I probably shouldn't be focused on that. Maybe I stand a better chance at being more academically successful than romantically successful. So
So
people are going and kind of picking what they think, like I said, ideas, but they're picking what they might think was just a better option for them. But then also a hit dog gonna holler. You would rather, you a little mad, so you want to get mad at her because she a little cutie and be like, "Oh, why are you so focused on man?" And it's like, "Well, because I'm cute and they like me."
so okay, so Renee, so I think you just touched on some things, right? Because now it's really got me wondering if that's it. So you just described some young ladies. You said we got some young ladies out here who are you know they good looking ladies or beautiful ladies. You also mentioned some ladies that got the biology degree. You also mentioned ladies having the things. Are we just dealing with a situation? Because I'm just curious. I said I want to get down to the bottom of what this is. Are we just dealing with a situation where in this realm of male centered and this being a negative thing, Are we just dealing with a situation where young ladies have figured out how to get the money, get the degrees, how to look cute or look good or however you want to describe it, get the houses, apartments, whatever it is, get the cars, the whatever it is, but the one thing they haven't figured out is how to get the husband.
Bingo. Uh-oh.
So then when a young lady gets to talking about wanting a husband, and to your point, Renee, because she's a certain type of girl that looks a certain type of way, she has a little bit of an advantage to get closer to that prospect. Then does that upset that certain group of ladies to where now they want to be negative towards her or in her comments? Because that's almost how it feels. It's almost like this young lady is talking about something that I don't have and I haven't been able to get because I got all the things. I got the degrees, I got the looks, I got the money, I got the cars, I got the vacations, I got all of that. But the one thing I can't get and have not been able to get is the committed husband.
I can't get no man that'll stay. I really do think that's at the root of it. I really do.
I'm just
I
curious.
really do.
I'm just curious.
And I think I think this group that's even wanting to have this conversation about male centered. I think this particular group, I'm talking about the women who feel this particular way.
Right. It's a group.
This group of women, I really do. I think that there's an issue. There's a jealousy issue. I think there's some resentment here. And I think there's some bitterness here because like you said earlier, as women, we've always been male centered. We've been talking about how that boy's cute and this boy's dad. And, this is the kind of stuff that's got y'all spending hundreds of, if not thousands of dollars to go to a Chris Brown Usher concert. These are the types of things that's got y'all, willing to pay a Chris Brown $1,000 just to take a picture with y'all and grab your butt. Like but you see what I'm saying? Like y'all are paying good money. Y'all paying good money just to take a picture of your butt. Like for real, y'all, this is happening. This is happening. But then you want to talk about somebody being male centered? Like, girl, not you paying this man $1,000 so he can grab your booty. Like, are we serious? Like, let's please be for real. So it's like, y'all, we're male centered. Like, if you're heterosexual, you like men. You don't talk about a man, thought about a man, dated a man, slept with a man. So at some point, can we please stop? At some point, you have been so into a man. Let's go through the pillars. At some point, you have been so into a man that you wore something he told you to wear because he said he liked it. Bing, that's one of the pillars. At some point, you've been so into a man that you done told your girls, nah, girl, I can't come out with you tonight. I'm going with my man.
Shantae got a
That's
man
another one. Okay, period. That's another one of the pillars, right? At some point, you have, baby, what you think about this dress? You think this look cute? But I'm gonna wear this because my man said he like when I do this, and my man like when I do this. My man, that's seeking validation from that man. That's another one of the pillars. And then finally, accommodating, pleasing a man. Come on now. You mean to tell me you ain't never, I'm going to make his favorite meal because that's what he like. Or I know he like when we go here and I'm going to go, he like apple pie girl. So for his birthday, I'm going to make him a fresh homemade apple pie girl. He likes that. And is that not all of the pillars? So what's the problem? Because at one point or another, if you are a heterosexual woman, you have done these things for some man somewhere. So let's please be so for real. Why is it a problem now? That's my point. There has to be something else there. It's got to stem from jealousy, bitterness, resentment. You can't get a man. What is it? Because we have all as women done these things at one point or another. And I will go even as far as to say this, and then I'll land. I'll go even as far as to say this. Y'all are saying that right now while you don't have a prospect of a man. But let a decent piece of man, like I'm talking about like a decent piece of man come around, and you could tell he's a decent piece of man. Yeah. And let's see if you feel like the same way you feel about this girl saying she want to be a wife and a mother, and she's prioritizing that and focusing on that. Let's see if you don't change your tune when a decent piece of man come around. Cause see, I'm willing to I'm ready to call all y'all liars. Y'all are lying. Y'all are lying to yourselves. Y'all know y'all would love to be in a relationship with a faithful, decent man. Y'all know y'all would. Y'all know y'all would.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to
just
on that though.
He just ain't came around. And listen, if the shoe don't fit, the shoe don't fit.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these women that are making this big fuss about these men, I agree with what you said earlier, Renee, is because either they feel like they don't qualify for it or they feel like they're at a disadvantage. But if a decent piece of man came around and it shows some interest in them, their opinion is going to change. They're not going to feel the way they feel right now.
I agree with you.
They are not.
But I think that we need to definition of a decent piece of man. Because one of the hardest things is the same way any woman ain't no good woman, any man ain't no good man. And a lot of times I think that what's happening, I think that one of the biggest fundamentals that is happening is the art of attraction. And I'm not saying that men are bad in any way, but I'm going to say that stuff like when young blood used to be hanging around Uncle, and Uncle would be like, nah, let me school you on this. Nah, this is how you get a woman and this, that, and the third. There was more of that happening also back in my day. Older cats was schooling younger cats, whether it was an older woman schooling a younger woman, an older man schooling a younger man. There's a huge disconnect between the older generation that knows what it is because they've been through what it's been through, plus they had been pre-taught by their pre-generation before them, and now that's not happening anymore. So one of the hardest things is, like Coco, you're hitting the nail like directly on the head. Just, I need to name the nail. The nail is a lot of these women, they're like, oh, well, like you said, if it's a decent piece of man. But a lot of these men are decent men, like they're good men and would be faithful, but they haven't been taught the art of attraction. What really makes her feel, for lack of better words, juicy, for said, so please forgive me, and please, I love you all, please. And they're like, but I was nice to her and whatever. And I'm like, okay, but that's one aspect of attraction. Another aspect is things that evoke certain emotions in her, a little bit of pushback, so that you're not, I hate to say it, like there's a word that I think they call it when I think somebody had asked in the chat. First of all, Victoria's clowning in this chat. Like, what? She's clowning.
Shout out to Victoria.
But when somebody had asked, like, what is the opposite of that? But then also, what would be a male who would be female centered, the way men would get up? And I believe that term is simping. And so I've seen plenty of things, especially the whole Kevin Samuels his whole rhetoric. Don't be simping for these women. Don't do anything like this for these women. These women ain't sugar, honey, iced tea, right? And so it's like, I see this now, same thing, where these men are like, but I want me a good woman or whatever. So we're bringing up this young woman, pretty beautiful woman, and she's not wrong in any way. But then Kevin Samuels, his entire platform was telling men, don't be doing it. These women ain't this and these women ain't that. But it's like, okay, but what if she's a good woman? Like, she, when I come home, she got me a nice meal and everything. All I do is work. I'm a simple dude. I just want somebody nice I come home, she done cook me something good. Her mama taught her how to cook. And, she just rubbed my head and we just watch TV. We don't need to do anything crazy. And yeah, she got 3 kids, but guess what? When I come home, she don't let them make the kids bother me, stuff like that. Where other men would be like, no, she got 3 kids. And he's like, but I mean, she cooked me good meals and she rubbed my head and she don't even bother me. She makes sure the kids is good and everything. You know what I mean? Yeah, I might pay a little bit of money for them, but shoot, it's peaceful there. She's happy because yeah, the other dudes didn't stay around, but I do stay around. So I always wonder, like, okay, what are we defining as a good piece of man? Because there are men who are very, very handsome, and I've met them, and I've had friends get mad at me, and I was like, but he's an asshole. Or then there will be a man who, oh yeah, he's really, really nice, but literally was so overly simping that it almost felt like, and this is gonna sound bad, but I'm like, I felt like I could take advantage of him. I'm like, that's not even who I am. No, I'm sorry, bruh. Like, I felt like I could just take advantage of you. That just feels wrong. I would, a quality piece of man would be somebody of whom there is a quality dynamic between the two of us. And I feel like a lot of men
That's it.
understand some of the aspects of being able to have enough pushback where there's a quality dynamic, but enough niceness for her to feel safe, but also have, be able to, I'm going to say spend a niece enough to let her see that, no, I'm willing to invest in you. Because one of the things that I remember, like, mama always told me, rhetoric is that, oh, well, make sure, no, if he's not taking you out, baby, trust and believe. When he likes you, he gonna bring you out to a nice way. When he likes you, he gonna introduce you to his friends. And when he likes you, and so when they meet some of these guys and they don't do those things, it's like, okay, well, what do I do to make him like me? What do I do to try? And so then they go and they start doing extra things, and it might not be a guy who was really into him. So I then go back to which comes first, the chicken or the egg. Is the man supposed to be courting the woman and showing him that he has interest? And then if she reciprocates, okay, they continue. Or should she be showing him, hey, no, I really like you. I really like you. And then if he reciprocates, then they continue. The reason I was told, by mom and them, that it was supposed to be the man is because men tend, and not all men, but men tend to have the ability to be physical without having anything emotional more often than women being able to just be physical and not have anything emotional. So the goal was to have a man show interest and do the pursuit thing, and you make sure not to do too much else, because again, if you get to that point and then again end up with babies and now he didn't stay, and you're telling the woman she couldn't keep a man, but is it also possible that he never really wanted to stay in the first place and did what it took to get where he needed? Because there are men who do that. It's probably none of the men that watch this channel. But then it's like, okay, so what are y'all doing to go and tell these men who are courting women in ways that they're not actually serious? Hey, don't do that to her. If you don't want that from her, don't do that. Because then once she goes and she has this baby by said gentleman who wasn't really in there for, whatever, then now she's looked down upon because, yeah, she had a baby by him. You know what I mean? So then I was told that that's the reason why women were supposed to be more discerning when it comes to that post, to make sure that the man invested more in the beginning so that he could show, nah, I really am interested in you before you guys led to those things. That's what I was just told. You know what I
That
mean?
also,
Again, you don't want to get used by some guy just for a physical event.
Yeah, but I think the piece that we can't leave out of that dynamic is that woman has to consider what she's been doing prior to him arriving. Yeah, but that's partially what gets left out of that conversation. I'm gonna try to loop them in, loop some other folks in because they was coming off mute. Jr. saw you come off, and I think even Cole might have came off. Did y'all want to say something? Go ahead, Jr. Oh wait, was that Cole? No, go ahead, Cole. It's on you. Go ahead.
I mean, y'all know I'm short and sweet. So you get around that by asking the hard questions. If he ain't giving you the answer that you need, then keep it moving. Like, I don't know what we doing, all the reversals, back turns, and diagonals. No.
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I understood what you said. Wait, you said if he ain't giving you the answers.
Yes.
Break that down, Cole, so I can understand what that is.
Because we're asking intentional questions.
It's supposed
so
to
you're
be.
not being, yeah. So if you ain't intentional, you keep it moving. I ain't got time.
No, but see, But see the thing, even with that, Cole. So you make a valid point. So we're supposed to be asking intentional questions, but
Hmm.
then you got to ask yourself, what's your intentions though?
That's
Because see,
true.
an intentional question used to be, what's your family life like? How you get along with your family?
That's still a question.
But I know, but now in current day, an intentional question is what's your annual salary? And see, that's part of the problem. The intention is important, but what's your intentions behind the intention?
I mean, he can ask that. I want to know if we can survive as two individuals on our own in this economy. You can ask. You can ask the follow up question. You can ask the
But
question. Question.
he's
Okay, wait, hold on,
already.
Coco, Coco, hold on. So let me ask Cole this, because see, she just opened up the door.
Oh
So,
Lord.
so Cole, so you said that you want to know if the two of y'all can essentially survive in this current day economy, right? Do you think
Mm,
that to understand if you two can survive in this economy, in this current day economy, do you think that it is necessary that you ask him how much he makes annually?
I mean, I can ask other questions to kind of figure that out.
So let me run that back because I see you about to start playing.
Yeah.
So
Second
if
Cole
you
is
need
in
to
the
figure
building.
out if you need to figure out if the two of y'all can survive in this current day economy, do you think an
Mhm.
intentional question would be how much do you make annually?
Yes, but so as I've learned, that's not what you're really trying to find
The
out.
PP goes. "Burp, burp, burp."
It's over.
I'm
It's over.
crying.
It's
I'm
over.
crying. Why
Go ahead and
are we scared
explain
to talk about
yourself.
why are we scared to talk about finances? I don't get what.
No,
Come
no, no,
on.
no, no, no,
They said
no.
wait. Who was that? Oh Lord. All right,
Ain't
they want to
nobody
show I
said.
broke
Ain't
it.
nobody scared. Ain't see. That's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody said they were scared to talk about finances. I asked you, do you have to ask that question to know if you and this man can survive in this current day economy?
It don't
Ain't
have to
nobody
be
said they were
that.
scared about nothing.
It ain't gotta be that exact question. It
I'm
could be
done.
some.
I'm done for the night. Coco, you got it. Coda, let me down.
Don't be down with me.
No, I mean I won't lie, like Cole, you literally just kind of did the opposite of what I had said before, like people understanding attraction dynamics. You going and straight up coming for a man's income is I hate to say it, but it's very off-putting. The same way the first thing he asks you is what your body count is.
Well,
Don't
that's
ask
fine. I
that
ain't got. I'm telling you, I ain't
first.
got time. So
Well, so and that's what I'm saying. So like that's why I was saying attraction
it's
dynamic is
game.
on both sides, right? So you know what I mean. So like I
Mm.
appreciate you because again, there are men who don't know. Okay, what do you ask a woman to like? Oh, so when are we sleeping together, sir? No,
I mean, they asked that, so why
sir.
can't the financial question
But
be a
you're
real
doing the same
question?
thing. I won't lie by saying, oh, well, how much do you make? It's like okay, all
Because I
right.
got somewhere I'm trying to go, and I'm trying to be with somebody and get out of this
Oh
marriage.
my God!
Oh my god,
Dang, what are
Coco
we
clown.
talking about?
Man, my
I can
feelings
hurt.
hurt. My feelings hurt.
Why? Why? Don't be done with me.
I'm
Look.
not mad. I'm a little mad. Jeez.
Hey man, it's over.
Yeah, can I
Wow.
jump in on that one?
Go ahead,
Okay.
JR. Go and get in on this, JR, because
You
Cole
know
let me
what?
down.
Come
Go
on.
ahead, JR.
Yeah,
Oh my
nah,
goodness.
I don't think Miss Cole's wrong in what she's
Mm.
trying to say. Like, I don't think she's wrong. I think from the ladies' perspective, it makes sense to ask the question, but from the man's side, obviously, it might be a bit too much. Um, probably on the first date or wherever it is. But if you're saying that, be intentional. From the ladies' side, if you're trying to get married and whatnot, I think that's a viable question to ask now. Maybe the issue is not necessarily how much do you make. Maybe it's at what stage are you trying to find out um, how much the man makes. So I don't necessarily think it's a problem. But I want to
So hold on.
go
Okay,
back.
hold
Go.
on, JR. Hold that thought, JR. So basically, are you saying that there's a certain stage in the getting to know a young lady process where you need to ask her how many men that she slept with? Is that what you're telling me?
I'd say so, yeah. But I don't think the question would be, you know, um, what's your body count? It wouldn't be that. It'd be conversation throughout this, the time that you're dating each other in it, and you're asking the questions, and however you gauge the situation is however you gauge it. You might be right, you might be wrong, The same way, the lady's asking the question, how much do you make? The guy might say, you know what, I make 75K, but he might be lying. So, yeah, so I don't think she's wrong in saying that, she's trying to find out. But like I said, it's just more when. What I spoke, both questions.
Okay.
See, I think what's at the root of a lot of this is you guys have made dating such a race against the clock that now you guys feel like you have to interview each other as opposed to just getting to know each other. And that's the problem. You're going to know how much he makes, but you're not even going to have to ask him, hey, what's your yearly income? Like, you'll learn, what his, buy capacity, what his spend capacity, what his earning potential. You're going to learn these things as you get to know him. You're going to be able to tell if he's responsible, irresponsible with his money, what he spends his money on, what he doesn't. And he's going to be able to see that with you too, as you guys get to know each other. The problem is you guys are rushing the dating process so much now that it has to become an interview. That's why now you feel like it's justified for you to ask about body count early, for you to ask about how much somebody makes yearly early. Like, the reason why these particular types of questions have become common and have become acceptable is because you guys are interviewing each other now. You're moving so fast. Like, the point is for you to date. We keep throwing this word courting around, right? Well, that's what courting is. Courting is you are intentional. You are dating this person, but it's a different level. It's I'm tapped in with this individual to get to know this particular person because I think there's something here. So I'm going to take the time and I'm going to put in the effort to get to know this person, right? I'm not going to have to ask on date 1 or 2 what his income is or what her body count is, because I'm gonna get to know this person and I'm gonna be able to tell if she lose, if she not lose, and maybe there will be some conversations that get had that you'll be like, oh, okay, that confirms something that I was thinking, but I want to ask. See, that's the kind of thing that happens when you are intentionally seeing somebody and y'all are working towards a shared goal, right? Now, you may find out they're not your person, y'all go y'all separate ways. But my point is, we've turned the dating process, now it's speed dating, and that's the only thing. That's the only way to date now is speed dating. Y'all are speed dating. That's why it's I gotta know this, I gotta ask these inappropriate questions, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. When I made that point about a good dude, this is what I meant. A quality man is going to be different from person to person, because what I want in a man and what Renee want in a man might be slightly different. We may not want the exact same thing. So I might meet a dude like, oh, he decent. Okay, I see him. And when I say decent, y'all, because nobody's perfect. So I gotta say decent. I'm not doing the whole good man thing no more, because what is that? So good for me might not be good for you, and good for you might not be good for me. So what I'm saying is you're going to know that if he's good for you after you get to know him. And I'm going to do the same, right? Like, and my original point, going back to the whole male-centered topic, is that these women are striking out. That's what's happening. They're striking out. And for some of them, not all of them, but for some of them, especially the ones that take this particular type of attitude, they are bitter and they are resentful. So when another woman comes around and she's not bitter like that, and she's not resentful like that, and she's still hopeful to find somebody, and she's still interested in finding somebody, this is what they do to, talk down about her, to make her feel like she's doing something wrong for wanting to prioritize having a life outside of her career and her education and all of these external accolades. Bless you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is what happens, right? We have to make her feel bad about what she wants. We have to make her feel bad about her choices because of how it makes us feel to hear her talk about this and to prioritize this and care about this. That's really what it is. That's what's at the root of this. That's why I wanted to talk about this, because why are we like this?
So is there a way for us to start maybe giving some of these women who've been through what they've been through, that now has them feeling like it is better to lash out at this sweet young woman than to really take a look at themselves? Like, what kind of care can we try to offer to these women to start getting them on the path of healing, as opposed to and off the path of hating? Because somebody put that in the chat. There was some haters.
Yes, no, that's a good question. I think the first thing that I think we should say is you need to take a step back. That's the first thing. Yeah, you got to take a step back, right? Because Coco made a very valid point. Yeah, the successful daters, the folks who've been married for the long durations of time with the kids and the grandkids and the great grandkids, and who can tell you the stories. You mentioned this earlier, Renee, the folks from back in the day who used to be able to tell you some things and all of that.
Yep.
Most of them got there by organically, intentionally dating. That's how they got there. It wasn't an interview. It wasn't a rush. It wasn't his salary. It wasn't her body count. It was organically getting to know somebody to get the information you needed to learn about that person to see if they were a good fit. So that's the first thing. Take a step back and reassess what you're doing. That's the first step. Yep. The second thing is you got to get yourself together. Yep. A lot of what is going on today is folks are not being honest with themselves. Yep. They not together when it comes to the relationship space. They not. Yeah, most of them selfish. Most of them got traumas because they was out here playing with the wrong folks and got themselves in some binds. What you say earlier, Renee? They done had some kid for some man. Some dude done had a kid with some young lady he know he shouldn't have even been messing with. Like, they done already took themselves down a bad road. Yep. So then when a young lady get to talking about she looking for a husband, she ready to be a wife, now you irritated because you like, man, I wish I could. For some of them folks, they wish they could have a redo. But it's like, that's not the choice you made. Yep. So you got to get yourself together and get your mind right, because at the end of the day, that may be part of the reason. I'm just being honest here when I say this. That may be part of the reason why certain people that you want is not checking for you. Yeah, because what people don't realize is people can feel that. Yeah, when you got that little energy on you, you got that little stank on you, and that go for men and women. You got that little stank in you, that little attitude. People can feel that. Yep. So for a man, you may think you on point because you got a couple dollars, you got a little title, a job, whatever. But that little cutie over there, man, she can smell that nonsense coming all up off of you. And you ain't about to get no hollers, and she definitely ain't about to lay up with you. Yep. And on the flip side, for the females, yeah, you may think you done got your little hair whipped up. You done put your makeup on. You done put your little Chanel shoes on. You got your little nails done. You think you doing it. Yep. And then you get around that dude who's of quality, and he can smell that nonsense coming all up off of you. And he is not going to entertain you. Yeah, but that mess happens on both sides because people is out here not being honest with themselves. They know they not on point. They know their mind still messed up from playing with these knuckleheads and playing with these little knucklehead females and knucklehead dudes. They know it. But they just try to ignore it like it's not there because they really just don't want to put that work in to get themselves together. Yep, and then because they're not getting those results and people is not responding to them like they would hope that they would, then they just want to project it and blame it on other people.
Yep.
And it's not the other people. It's you. You got to go do some work. Yeah, you made some bad decisions, but you got to go work on that. Because that's another thing that existed before, going back to the point you made, Renee, earlier. That's another thing that existed before that doesn't or seems to not exist as much today. I feel like people before that understood that they had some shortcomings out here, they moved differently when it came to relationships. And what I mean by that is certain dudes who know that they didn't have the money, or let's just say he wasn't the tallest of the dudes. He knew he had to be extra cool. He had
Funny.
to be he had to be funny. He had to be the nice guy. He had to be the cool homeboy. And that was his way of trying to make up for some of those shortcomings that some of the other fellas had. So he could still get to a decent young lady. And the same thing happened on the other side. You had young ladies out here who may have been with other dudes and they had kids already. But those ladies knew that in order to secure the type of man that they was looking for after they finally got their mind right, they had to move a little differently. So them ladies used to be a little extra nurturing. They was a little extra nice. They was a little extra supportive. They was the home girl. Now, that's my girl right there. They was the home girl. And that's how she did it. And she still ended up married after having them kids with them other men. She still ended up married and lived happily ever after because she knew she had made some decisions that may have kind of changed her outcome a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But she knew she had to make some little adjustments to get back in the game and secure the man that she wanted to secure for her kids and her family and moving forward and her husband and all of that. But now today, for some reason, people look at that differently now. So now they feel like they can still make the decisions that's going to affect their outcome, but for some reason the other person just supposed to ignore it on the other end. And that's like that's never how that worked. That's never worked that way.
No.
Yeah, so that's the start. Yeah, you got to start by taking a step back, and then two, you got to look at yourself and get yourself together and look at what you're doing. That's the start. But that involves work. Yeah, but that's one thing that people in 2026 don't want to do. They don't want to put in no work. They just want to present you with whatever they presenting, and they just want everybody to want it and take it. And that's just not how that works. It's never worked that way. So yeah, that's the beginning. But go ahead, then we get ready to close.
You're right. But then you're literally pointing right back to what Coco said in the beginning. Why are they seeking all this validation? And the thing is, if you're able to just go and get the validation, you don't have to put in the work of actually changing, because you can go and just find some sort of platform by which you can get validation. Then there's all these people putting out all these different types of content that validates each and everybody's shortcomings. And that's what's happening. So it's like this weird cycle thing that's happening, this circular thing that's happening. Then they're like, okay, well, I need to change these shortcomings. And then they go across a couple videos that validate that shortcoming. Like, oh no, well, that's okay. I can have 9 kids and 12 baby daddies, and they should still want. And it's like, no, ma'am, you're not an ungood being. You're still a good being, of whom might, like you say, you need to be a little nicer. You gotta be nicer, because you can't. There is a gentleman that I follow on YouTube named Orion Taraban, and he had said that there is a paradox that happens with young girls, especially if they're not going and getting married and formulating their relationships. Because like we were saying before, their best chance, I hate to say it, I mean, I don't even know, you can be mad. Your best chance is when you're young and cute. I don't know what else to tell you, ma'am. You really don't have. I won't lie. You don't have to bring as much to the table. You can get a whole lot in the negotiation process. You a first draft pick now, ma'am. Respectfully, okay. But what happens is, back when they was a first draft pick, they didn't have to develop real ball skills. Then later, when they've made this, you know, that, you know, this is, there was how many, whatever the round is. This is the eighth round now. That you, this is not the first. This is not, that's not you no more. They never actually developed the skill set. So now they're like, oh, these people ain't sugar honey iced tea, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, no, honey, you're not the sugar honey iced tea anymore. You were able to get away with what you got away with in the beginning, thinking that, oh, I must be the funniest. He laughs at all my jokes. Nope, he was laughing at that hip to waist ratio, mama. I'm so sorry, and you guys can tell me to be quiet.
No, you
My
good.
man, my man, my man.
Ma'am. But they didn't notice that because I must be the funniest. No, you are not. But you know what I mean? And that's what happens. And then I think that that's what ends up happening. A lot of these ones were what we would call uh, baddies or whatever now. And then once they're not like at their prime anymore, they think that it's still going to be the same thing. And I'm like, unfortunately, it's not. But it's the same thing. Like you said, even if they weren't like the most amazing, your youth was something that was able to pull in more at the time. So it's like this weird thing. But then they go and they get validated online. They see some video that somebody put out because content is content is content. Hey, listen. I hope every one of you gets monetized. Thank you, God. Hallelujah. Um, but that's what they'll do, and people are willing to put out every type of content. And I think that also brings me then back to paradox of choice, because there's all this content that validates everything. You can just pick whatever you want, get validation, and then there's nothing to make you actually make a change. There's no true man in the mirror.
No, that's valid. No, I agree with that. Let me we're gonna get ready to take some close. I know we staying tight. JR, I'm gonna let you get that off in a second as we do this closing, man. Like I said, folks been getting on us about the time, so it's 10 o'clock. So we ready to take some closing. So I'm gonna come across top and come hit the bottom, and we out of here. Coco, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, get you some male centered friends, and let them teach you how to be male centered, so that you can get you a man. Listen, winter is coming. Okay, winter is coming. Winter is coming, and they trying to get. Look, I don't know what else to tell y'all. Look, it's time for us as women to be more practical. See, we not practical enough. Okay, winter is coming. They don't want you to go to the beach. It's a flesh-eating bacteria. We get the water supplies is getting attacked. I don't know if y'all been hearing they been attacking the water supplies all across the US. They already told y'all the lettuce, the cilantro, the vegetables, and now they've extended it to the fruits. They claustrophobic, whatever they call it.
Right.
They already told y'all about that. So I'm just trying to tell y'all, it's time for us to start getting smart. Okay, self-preservation. So y'all out here talking about how y'all don't need a man and a man this and male centered. Get you some male centered friends so they can teach you how to get a man. Okay, yeah. Stop playing out here. Stop playing out here like we don't need each other. Can we please stop playing? Why are we playing like this? Like we don't see what's going on around us. I don't know if y'all watch the news. I don't know if y'all tapped in, but can we please just be for real for a second? Life is not what you portray. See, I think y'all been portraying fake lives on social media so long, y'all starting to believe y'all own hype.
Mm-hmm.
The life that you are portraying on social media is fake, boo-boo kitty. It's fake. It's real stuff going on in the world. Real things. And while y'all running around talking about y'all don't need each other, y'all could be the only ones to help. You're going to look to your left and your right. It's going to just be you. And the sky going to be falling down. Like, we are taking things that We are taking things that used to mean community and used to mean unity and used to mean love and used to be mean friendship, and now we're turning them all into negative things. And that's crazy. Y'all don't see how slowly they're picking apart the things in your lives that are our quality, and they keep selling you crap. They're selling you on vacations. They're selling you on bags and shoes and wigs and jewelry and all of that stuff. They shoving that down your throat, all while telling you you don't need a man. Stop having kids. They telling you to work till you 80. They're telling you to continue to get degree after degree after degree, going further and further into school debt. These are the things that they're telling you to do. Everything that they are promoting to you is ultimately going to help them. It's going to go well for them because you continue to feed the economy. You continue to, increase, your debts that you owe to them. They continue to get tax dollars from you. All of this is to continue to prop up the society and the way that they have designed it. You will own nothing and you will love it. That is what they told y'all. And y'all running around here talking about you don't need each other. Get that. Like, let that sink in for a second. And you don't even see it. So I'll just land with this. This is my new motto. Whenever I see them promoting something, telling me to do something, telling me something's not good, telling me where to go, or telling me how to do it, I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm doing the exact opposite. So get you some male-centered friends. And y'all go get y'all some men. And I want to see a whole bunch of weddings in 2027. That's what I want to see. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I want to see everybody walking down the aisle. Yes. I want to, come on, wedding season. I want like 50 invites next year. That's what we're going to do, because we are going to promote and prioritize the things that are actually beneficial to us and not the things that continue to further divide us and continue to destroy us from within. That's what we're going to do.
That's real. Appreciate that closeout right there. Renee, it's on you.
Yeah, I agree with you, girl. Get you some male-centered friends. That is a good goal. I remember there was a time that when I was a young girl, whatever, there were a bunch of guys, group guys that would, they played ball. They were all ballers and things like that. They all hung out around each other. They were always like kind of like something like a crew, but definitely not a gang because we don't promote that. And I remember the second one of them got married, it was a chain reaction. As soon as one got married, somebody else did it, whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, you gotta. I'm honestly, what you're saying, like male-centered friends, that's one aspect of life. But you gotta get, what is it, birds of a feather, get married together, okay? For people, you gotta keep a circle. A lot of people, I don't know if it's like what's promoted in this weird new woke thing, where everybody can just do what they want, and I'm like, that's fine, but you probably should keep the people who have your same goals and same mindset around you, thinking that you can be around these people that are feeding your spirit, something completely different than what you want your spirit to eat. It's not going to be conducive to what you want. You know what I mean? I think there was that phrase, you are, if your friends are four jokers, you're the fifth one, or if your friends are four brokies, you're the fifth brokey. Like, I'm probably saying it bad.
We know what you mean.
You know what I mean? And so I think that that's like one of the biggest takeaways. She had this friend, and that's not what her thing was. And it's like, okay, well, we've been friends. Like, I won't lie, honestly, the last time I was on the show, there was a good amount of information that Coco was just dropping, just gems and gems and gems. And I went, and when I had my client slash friend who had came to visit me, got her hair done and everything, and I'm over here, I'm dropping gems all up in her ear. She's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do. Girl, you gonna do it? Listen, you listening to me here. We have similar goals. This is what you need to do. I don't know if I want to do it, but you're going to. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There was no, I know how you feel. I told her, F your feelings. This is what we have. We have goals, Miss Ma'am. You got a whole, roster of people in this phone, and there's no reason with them paying you attention and wanting to spend time with you that you are not having some quality relationship. So we did sit down and we worked on a few of the aspects, and I gave her a couple of actionable tasks to take with her. Like, you're gonna try them out. If I'm wrong, then call me, cuss me out. It's okay, girl. But these are our goals. So I will say, like, yes, you have to get you some male-centered friends if that's what your actual goal is. And if that's not your goal, then leave people alone.
That's real. Appreciate that right there. Appreciate that. Cole, you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
You want to say anything before we get out of here?
I was thinking about it.
Don't be mad at me now.
Mm, let's see. Regarding the topic, I will say, based on the conversation, I agree. Um, I just think, um, I guess based on the comments and the feedback, him that it's just gonna be. I guess it just has to be a time where you have time. That's it.
Have time to what?
To have time to um entertain the male gaze.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you mean like you? Like how you
Huh?
got time?
I still got time for shenanigans. I didn't clarify. I still have time for the
Oh,
shenanigans.
you
That's all.
got time.
No,
You
no
got time.
foolishness. Just
You
no
you you're
foolishness.
you young. You got time.
Come on now, Cole. You
Come
trying to
on
say
now.
you
You
ain't
know we're
got
not
time?
gonna let you off that easy. You got time, girl. You act like you about to leave this place. You got time.
She don't went quiet. Cole, you still there, Cole?
I mean,
Don't get
Okay.
quiet.
I'll get up off of you though. I'm not gonna mess with you. I ain't gonna mess with you.
no, I'm listening. I'm good. I'm listening.
Cole, is there anything else you want to add? I know this your closing. We jumping on you and your closing. Anything else you want to
No, that's it.
add? All right. I'm just checking. All right. Let me get over here to JR. JR was over here playing with his mute. I think he wanted to go off on some folks, then he got quiet. JR, you still there, man?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm here. No, I
Go
know you
get it
said
off your chest. You got the floor, man. It's all yours.
yeah. No, I just want to go back to what Miss Renee said earlier. Just in terms of you know making sure that your woman's satisfied or whatnot, right? Low skinny kill, whatever it is, every day, every hour, every second. I get that. So she's able to feel good, feel nice, validated, and whatnot. Um, but I want to ask Miss Renee, um, does a woman have to also lotion her man in order for him to, pay bills and all that stuff, or is it just it's a must?
Say that one more time.
And I said, when you mentioned earlier that you know, a woman wants to feel good, so obviously her man has to, lotion her every day, just make her feel good and whatnot, in order for her to feel happy and to be able to engage in a relationship. So I'm asking, does she also have to do the same in order for the man to also pay the bills, or is it a must that he has to pay the bills?
Um,
Catch that, Renee?
yeah, I want to interpret the question first before I just jump in because you know me.
Okay. I got you. I just
um,
want to make sure you heard him. I know he's a little low. Go ahead.
yeah, that's why I had to get close. Of course, it's a reciprocal relationship, But like I was saying before, nobody is really teaching people the art of attraction. There are certain things that are very, very unattractive to a male, certain things that are very, very unattractive to a female. And both of them don't even understand that no matter how cute they are or how much money they make, there are certain things that at a certain point, at a certain threshold, will just completely turn the other person off. As opposed to just like Quay was saying, that the dude who, he was a little shorter, he wish he was a little bit taller, he wish he was a baller, he would need to do a couple of extra things to show, to that form attraction, things like being funny, like actually funny. I mean, look at Mr. Hart, him small, but yet, um, and then we think about like, some of the women of whom we might even call, I guess, basic or something like that. But then yet they're with some of these celebrities. They've been with them since high school and whatever. There are aspects of who they are that they were able to keep that attraction with their man, with their partner or whoever. I think that we're having a really, really, like you said, a hard time, because what man wants to be in a relationship with a woman of whom is not engaging him in certain quality ways? And Coco had pointed out that everybody has different ways that they want to be engaged with. It might be slightly different. So the ability, I'm going to say, cognition is being lowered. I'm guessing because of social media, because people only want sound bites as opposed to the ability to have deeper thoughts, the ability to actually pay attention to what's going on. So attention span. You just need to spend some. Quay said we're going out and we're dating to get to know each other. So actually spending time around somebody, you're going to learn them, but these people don't seem to have that as an ability. Then the fact that almost every bit of information that we have on this planet is free. Getting a degree costs money. Information is pretty free, or at least very, very cheap. You can go and get all types of books, watch YouTube videos of people explaining what the art of attraction is, what are some just a video of 10 things. Don't do what Debbie Don't does videos that say, don't do these 10 things. If you can just avoid these 10 things, you're more than likely going to be able to have a decent relationship. Or do these 5 things and you're going to, but people don't really consume that type of stuff. And if they are consuming it, I don't know if they're actually putting it into practice. So you are completely correct. It should not be one-sided in any way. I always make an attempt at making sure that both sides understand what they need to do, because it's supposed to be a collaboration. It is not, and it should be mutually beneficial for all parties involved.
Right.
So if we have a poly community out there, feel free. We'll talk to you. Engagement, but for all parties involved, it should be mutually beneficial.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. JR, that's any more on you, JR?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, just to wrap it up, because like I always say, I try to be understanding of where the ladies are coming from, and to me, I don't think they are wrong, in the way they're feeling towards men. I've said it before that men have failed women, already. So I can understand why some women wouldn't want to make their life center around men. So it makes sense the way they're feeling. But then it comes down to a question I asked, because when Miss Coco came up with the list of, whatever the male-centered stuff meant, I think one of the points was basically women not want to give or do things for men. And because of that, it then makes men feel that, okay, you know what, if I'm not going to get, I'm not going to give. Now, I'm not saying that men out here have a lot to give, right? It's whatever you can give, cool. But that's where I think the clash is coming from, where women feel like they don't want to give because of the previous failures. And then men are like, oh, you know what? We know they don't want to give, but I have to give. And then that's where, when you then said the simping situation, that's when the men start getting onto men like, yo, bro, she ain't giving you nothing, but you're giving her everything. She don't respect you, she don't rate you. And in the same time, a woman feels like if she gives up her job, becomes a stay-at-home mom or whatever, she gives up her life for a man, and then the man fails her, even though he's giving a little something, but it's still not enough for the woman. So I think that's where the clash is coming from, where women don't want to give, men are expecting, but then men don't want to give back because they're not getting nothing back. So where the hell do we go from here?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, no, I can see that, man. It's definitely a disconnect. Appreciate that closeout right there. Let me say this real quick, and we gonna get on up out of here. Y'all still made me push my time, man. Still made me push my time. Well, let me say this real quick, and we gone. I know we are talking male centered tonight, but I'm just gonna say this because I'm not letting the fellas off the hook either. Fellas, let me just keep it a bean. You got to give these women something to be centered on. Let me just keep it real. Yeah, we talking about these male-centered young ladies out here looking for husbands. You got to give these women something to be centered on. Yeah, that's something else that has changed. Yeah, there was a lot of fellas out here marriage-minded. A lot of them generations before us, marriage-minded fellas, family-minded fellas, white picket fence fellas. But at some point, some of the fellas got off on some garbage too. Yep, so now some of the ladies like they don't want to get centered on these whack dudes. And for some of them, I would agree. There's some whack fellas out here. Let's just keep it a buck. I seen some nonsense today. Yeah, fellas rolling down the street laughing while a young lady going through some nonsense. And it's just like, it's some whack fellas out here too. I ain't giving y'all no pass. Yeah, but so if we gonna talk about the male-centered young ladies getting hated on by the hating non-centered, non-male-centered ladies out here, then we also got to talk about some men being center ready so that the male-centered women can lock in. It's just that simple. So fellas, I ain't letting y'all off the hook. This not a one-sided issue right here. I ain't letting y'all off the hook. Yep, so if the fellas got back to moving like real males, then maybe some of these young ladies will start moving like real females, and then we can have some real relationships again. Yes, I'm going to leave that like that. Man, shout out to my panel, man. Shout out to Coco. Shout out to Renee. Shout out to Cole. Shout out to JR. Appreciate y'all holding me down on the panel tonight. Shout out to everybody in the comments, man. Special shout out to Victoria Williams, man. She been lighting them comments up.
Victoria was doing it.
Yeah, she's doing her thing. Shout out to my guy Civil out there. Shout out to Donovan. Shout out to Kenyatta. Shout out to the real one. Appreciate y'all holding me down in the comments, man. Shout out to Higher Power 422 in the building as well. Hold down YouTube, man. It's Kandid Konvos, man. We here every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you haven't already, smash that like button. Smash that subscribe for all my YouTube folks. Turn on them notifications, man, and hit that share, man. We want to get these great conversations out to as many of our people as possible, man. Yeah, I don't know if y'all realize it, man, but we have some great people on this panel, man. Yeah, we have some great people come on this panel and grace this panel, man. We got some great perspectives, man. We got folks from all different walks of life. I don't even know if y'all understand what we doing over here, man. Well, we really got a great thing, man, but y'all got to tap in. And like I always say, the gems and the keys is in the conversation. But man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. Let me make sure I ain't miss no names. Shout out to Coco, Renee, Cole, JR. I just want to make sure I got all the names. I feel like I'm slipping tonight. But man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one.